Well, good morning. Beau, the fifth column. Yeah, I saw that little public service announcement you made concerning about Japan and their earthquake issues. They've been having that damn thing for a hell of a long while. And yes, it is a reminder to Southern California and those who live in the earthquake countries about how sneaky these damn things are. At least you can see your disaster coming up. Whether there's going to be a large thunderstorm, at least we have a little bit of warning. If there's going to be a hurricane coming down your pipeline, at least, or up your state's pipeline, at least you can prepare for it. Earthquakes, we have to be on a 24/7 paranoia, but unfortunately, Southern California is not that paranoid enough, and neither is the rest of California. We've had our fair share. I've survived a lot of them since 1971. Current. So, yeah, food and water, first aid supplies, contact list, lights, batteries, flashlights, glow sticks if needed, extra clothing, extra money. Credit cards won't be needed. Power will be out. So, cash on the base is right there. Ready to grab and go bag. Throw everything else in it. We Californians been talked about, had been talked at about this one by seismologists, geologists, and also disaster prep people out here. We know it, and some of us are just blasé about it because either they've forgotten about it or they just didn't care about it or never experienced one. I have. Do I have a go bag? No. Am I blasé about it? No. I just hated the damn things in the first place, but can't do nothing about them. But at least I have extra stuff I can shove into a bag or two. And since I'm living in an apartment complex that seems to be up to specs of the last current specs of earthquake code, which means we have a certain tolerance in shaking that the building can withstand. This building has been built up since about 15 years ago. So back then, we did have earthquake standards, and unfortunately, every time we have a major earthquake, we have to update those standards like crazy. The last one we actually had was out in Ridgecrest a few years back, larger than a 6 point on the Magnu. Yeah, we gone through our fair share of them over here. Japan, they're drilled. They know. But if they want extra help, they know that we've got people ready to go. We have disaster search and rescue teams ready to go in Los Angeles County, Orange County, Ventura, up and down the state. Different selected groups across the country ready to rock and roll. We'll have emergency transports over there within 24, 48 hours. We have cadaver dogs ready to rock. We have all these situations ready to go. And the thing of it is, all Japan's got to do is say, "Come on in, and we'll be there." Japan's one of our allies, one of our friends. They know we will be there. We know that we have naval ships ready to go. We have medical ships standing by. We have NGOs ready to go in at a moment's notice. These guys know. I'm not stressing about it as much. Tsunamis suck. They get them. They've seen it. A lot of their culture deals with buildings that are old or flimsy. And if they were into the modern era, a lot of their towns would be able to be that way. But unfortunately, because of their geography they are prone to tsunamis. The only thing I hadn't seen them go through is sinkholes, unlike the East Coast and the Southeast. Yeah, I keep track of that stuff. Well, to a point that over here anyway, as long as the media covers it. And if it doesn't, I'll have to do further research. How many holes did you guys already opened up so far? How many people have been lost by these damn things? We already got our sinkholes out here in California. Water doesn't help very much when it comes down for a geologic movement. A lot of mudslides. A lot of people trapped in their homes. Said before, we're ready to rock. Should Japan call out for help, and U.S. will be ready to go for it. As for us Southern Californians, the generations I've noticed here hadn't been through earthquakes all that often because we haven't had those many earthquakes happening out here on the West Coast. We've had major beauties, but sometimes they're sporadic and sometimes they're a bit off. We get the three or fours on the magnitude scale, and people are freaking out about the damn thing. I'm looking, and I'm thinking whether or not if we actually have actual movement, and are we going to be getting any more stress build up on another fault line, or is it relieving the stress on another fault line? There are theories coming from the seismologists and geologists out there regarding our own earthquake issues that we have. San Andreas fault line, we should have had a major earthquake about 175 years ago. I mean, 175 years ago, roughly, we had a major quake. But they're off a little bit on the duration, and we're not quite so sure that all the quakes we've been having in California have increased the chance or lessened the chance. Every time there's been a smaller quake, we always tell the population, prepare, go bag. Every time we get into a rain situation, grab your go bags because of flooding, because of mudslides. If we have any storms happening, grab your go bag just in case. There's something about lack of transportation out here, Beau. Some of us don't exactly have our own vehicles, have to depend on everybody else who's going to be grabbing things in their own damn vehicles. We have to depend upon public transportation or private transportation of bus companies. And they'll get crammed up real damn fast. The rest of us are stuck where we are. So we hunker. We hunker down with what we've got. I have to keep washing out milk bottles, and get more filled up. I have to get more Brita filters to filter out the water because we have mineral laced wells that we have to keep filtering out left and right. So I'm well aware of disaster planning, but sometimes we do get blasé about our own lives out here that we don't think about it as much, but we should. I look at the landscape, I see potential brush fire. I see the landscape out here, maybe potential sinkholes if we've got them. If the minerals are dissolved enough, we'll have collapsing holes. But we haven't heard any, we haven't seen any, so it's always a hidden thing right there. As for mudslides, yeah, well, we have fires in the hillsides and we have loosened soil, so without the plants to hold down the soil, we're open season. Every time we have storms coming in, the meteorologists are still working with other disaster folks to let us know that we have potential mudsliding in certain areas, and we have to be warned. We have to be alert, be warned, and be ready to go. Sandbags are usually available at the fire stations, along with the sand necessary. So yeah, we know about that. As for Japan trying to take care of itself, Japan is always has been and always will be a geologic hotspot. The one thing that you haven't said anything to your folks out there, and that's why I probably need to send you a Geology 101 book, is we're still part of the Pacific Rim of Fire. We still have our plates growing, expanding, and melting at the same time. You really need to start up. You need to brush up on your geology when you start talking about people in the Pacific Rim of Fire. Hell, you may be in one of those areas and not even realize it. But according to what we've been seeing, no, there's no plate tectonic activity out in your area. Every once in a great while there'll be something else going on. Probably fracking or something. Screwing around with the geology while you're trying to search for natural gas, oil, shale, and then people wonder how come they get shaken. You disturbed the dirt, according to Moliere from Disney's Atlantis film.